The Ahsoka series is wrapped up, and it left me and the rest of the fandom with a lot of information. However, one of the most interesting things to me was the cliffhanger with Balin's skull. I loved Balin all throughout the series. He was my favorite character, and theories kept sprouting in my mind on what his end goal could be. We saw in the end statues of the father and the son of Mortis, which leads many to believe he could be on a quest to unleash Abeloth. I'm not so sure about that, but I digress. The reason I'm making this video is because I've heard theories about the gods themselves. Since the gods were killed, the Force is trying to find replacements. I found this to be a very interesting theory, and I have thoughts. So let's dive right on into it, shall we? So for those who don't know, or need a refresher, the Mortis Gods, otherwise known as the Ones, consist of the Father, representing balance in the Force, the Daughter, who is the embodiment of the light side, and the Son, who is the embodiment of the dark side. They were extremely powerful beings, second only to Anakin Skywalker. They lived for millions of years before finally being killed. That's the basic understanding. Fans have been speculating that the Force needs new physical beings to control its aspects, so it selected new beings to be the new father, son, and daughter, these being Anakin Skywalker, Balin Skull, and Ahsoka Tano. While these might seem like great candidates at first glance, I do have my concerns with these selections. First off, Anakin Skywalker as the father. I could definitely see this. The original father himself even wanted Anakin to take his place and watch over his children. Anakin, of course, being the chosen one of Jedi prophecy, did bring balance to the Force in the physical sense, and then he showed up in the world between worlds, seeming to have a control over his dark and light side personalities. He's taking the balance to a cosmic level, but if we are using Anakin as the replacement father, I do have a question to ask. It would imply that the Ones could continue to use their power beyond the physical realm, and why would there be a need for a replacement at all? One could say that the father's power was weakening and he needed someone stronger for the job, but Anakin also was weaker as Vader when he died, and look where that ended up. He became more powerful than anyone could possibly imagine. But at the same time, the lore on the Ones is also so much more than we could also imagine. So I'm also just kind of pulling stuff out of my butt. It's just a lot to wrap my head around. Ahsoka Tano was killed at the hands of the Son on Mortis, but was quickly revived by Anakin Skywalker using essence transfer, transferring the life of the daughter into Ahsoka so that Ahsoka could live. One could argue that Ahsoka has been the new daughter from that point forward, and so far, she's been a great candidate, leaving the Jedi Order, going off what she believes is right, and has been a follower of the light side itself. She even has Morai, an owl-like creature that is shown to have connections to the daughter previously. Morai has consistently shown up in Ahsoka's story, implying that there's more to be told that we don't know yet. That being said, I'm not sure that Ahsoka is the daughter reincarnate. My working theory is that she is an avatar of the light, or the host of the daughter, much like how Mark Spector is an avatar of Khonshu in Moon Knight. We know little to nothing about the lore of the Ones, so I'm not really basing this off of anything, other than the fact that Anakin transferred the daughter's life into Ahsoka, so it could be the daughter keeping them both alive in one body. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's Star Wars. It wouldn't be the first time they did something ridiculous. Like, who knows what could happen? We just have to wait and see. Balin as the Son's replacement makes the least amount of sense to me. While Balin did leave the Jedi Order and uses the dark side to an extent, he tries to balance the Force in his practice and teachings with Shin Hati. Both the Son and Balin see themselves as something more than the Jedi and the Sith. But to me, while the Son sees himself as strictly a powerful being that should rule above all, Balin sees him and Shin as something that the two orders should have evolved into, and is genuinely trying to be the best version of himself. I would see him as honestly more of a father type than a son, but Anakin fits the description more in my eyes, with the whole chosen one thing. Of course, we don't know what he was after in the finale. Could he truly be after power, or was he seeking to the end? of the Force. I guess we just have to wait and see how the story evolves into a potential season 2 of Ahsoka, or in the Dave Filoni movie. There could be a piece of Baylan that he's keeping from us yet that could change my entire perspective on this. I definitely believe that we're going to get more information on the ones in the coming projects, but with these types of videos coming up on my feed on TikTok and YouTube, I figure I would just pitch in my 2 cents. Let me know how you feel about this matter, and how you think the future of the ones will be shown. If you've made it this far, maybe consider liking the video and subscribing if you haven't. I think I make good content. Give it a shot.